It's one thing to take a step back and say, well, if I built the largest econometric model in the world, I might be able to predict the future. The reality of it is variables are changing so often. The ability to actually design the perfect strategy in today's dynamic environment, we've seen as a bit of a fallacy.
Now in today's world, actually size and scale can be a competitive disadvantage because you're dealing with a disruptor that is more quick, more nimble, doesn't need a lot of real estate, uses technology, and you're trying to compete with that.
So we now talk about transformation in the context of things that you can do within a single year and generally in months as opposed to years.
What you need to do is continue to revisit the assumptions, the hypothesis, the analysis that you ran to develop your strategy so that that strategy stays refreshed and it stays alive and it stays valuable as the variables change around you.
Transformation is really the new normal. They need to continually transform their organization, and in fact, the point in time in which they stop transforming is really the point in time they start becoming less relevant to their customers.
One of the key things in building an operating model is agility. And it's not just agility in how you actually build the operating model, but really the other component of building an agile operating model is building for change instead of build for last. And that's in your technology, your sourcing, your organizational design.
Visibility is key. Right? In order for you to make good decisions, you have to have visibility to how your business is performing, what's driving successful outcomes, and what's driving unsuccessful outcomes.
So our most agile clients are going out, they're really focusing on the new, on what's changing in the market, on what business models and revenue creation models they can put in place going forward. And they're running rapid experiments. They're identifying themes about new customer value propositions, and they're launching into market a set of experiments around those themes.
And what we're now seeing is the large financial services providers starting to either buy or to build the capabilities that are more nimble and flexible. And in some cases, they're actually buying the disruptors and they're keeping them in innovation hubs outside of their brand, so that the end consumer doesn't even know it. They might think that they're working with a disruptor, when in fact that disruptor is owned by one of the big financial services conglomerates.
Some of the most successful companies today don't own a lot of assets, and they're really a platform. We have a lot of clients that are challenged by the orthodoxies that had made them successful in the past.
Companies don't have the appetite to wait for multiple years to realize the value. They need to derive results today, and as a result need to have a series of programs that they can execute both in the longer and shorter term to drive value for the organization.
Clients really want to have agility with their transformation programs. They want to be able to make adjustments if they're changing customer preferences or changing technologies or some sort of competitive disruptors. They want to be able to make more real-time adjustments.
You can't rely on how you built your business and were rewarded by the marketplace for building that business. You have to be able to turn on a dime.